Like, share, subscribe to Live for Love TV.
Hello everybody, my name is Caleb and you're watching Live for Love TV. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Live for Love TV. Oh.
Hi, welcome back to Live for Love TV. Bit hoarse this morning under the AC, you know it is in the fan, so forgive me for my voice, it's not Barry White. You're in tune with Live for Love TV. Today is the 25th day of the first month, the 22nd year of the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing well, really well. Okay, politics in Africa and the Caribbean today. I've seen the operation of politics which has been adopted from the former colonial powers, but it has not been adopted the way that it's used by those colonial powers in their own country. So politics in those countries, I mean, if you live in any of those countries or you've been been there and seen how it works, it's almost like there is no political power there whatsoever. I'll give you an example. In all the countries I've been to in Africa and the Caribbean, all of them pay road tax. When you got a car, you pay road tax. But the trouble when you're in those countries is to find a road that you can actually drive on, or a part of the road you can drive on. So the question comes is, if you pay road tax and the roads are in such bad condition, what exactly is your money going towards? And because the people are not astute politically, they just carry on paying the road tax. They don't demand that the road must be fixed. You'll see people in Ghana, Jamaica, Nigeria, literally on the road, putting dirt and mold on the street and begging for passers-by to help them, you know, fix the road. That happens in Africa and it happens in the Caribbean. Now I know that there's no one in Africa telling the people in the Caribbean to do that, and there's nobody in the Caribbean telling the people in Africa that should go with a little bit of water and a little bit of mold and sand and try and fix the road and get some money as passers-by come by. There's nobody doing that. So that proves to you that the situation is exactly the same. The politics is the same. The people behave exactly the same. They improvise and try to help out, but there is no road. And the only reason I brought that up is because you can't drive on any of these roads and not notice that the road is in such a dilapidated condition, but people are paying their taxes for. It's clear that people do not understand in our countries, in many of our countries, what politics really is. You know, I once did an interview with a person in Ghana, and when I told him that the politicians in all the parties are your public servants, he was so surprised. He said, "You mean to tell me," he said, "that we have to tell our politicians what they should do?" And this is not an unintelligent man. This is exactly how it is in the Caribbean. When people come to politics, when you vote in politicians, from that perspective, from that point on, the populace do nothing with the politics. They don't tell them we want this or we want that or this is why we put you in or what. They just allow the person to do whatever they want, and then they find out they don't get what they want and they get angry and they say this person hasn't done this. The person, I'm saying, but you're the one who knows what you need in your area. You're the one that knows what you need in your parish or in your region. So you're the one who should have put somebody in and told him before you put him in, this is what we need, this is what we want, this is how we want you to operate. And this is the problem with politics in most of the third world countries. Let's call it third world countries, or developing nations, as they say. The problem is that people on the ground, general people, have no concept of politics whatsoever. It's been adopted by Western powers and they have no concept of it whatsoever. Most of us come from tribal situations, and our tribal elders and our tribal leaders were the ones who did everything, and that's the way things went. But politics, we have no idea. We just don't have any idea. I was listening to an interview by an artist the other day, interviewing the UIC, I think it's the UIC leader in Jamaica, who is recognized as the third party behind the two major parties. And no disrespect to the reggae artist that was interviewing him, but it was quite clear that though he's picked up little points along the way about politics, he doesn't understand how politics works. So whenever the UIC tried to explain the rounded nature of politics and how one thing leads to another, he would just pick out these little points and say, but I don't get that, and I don't know how you're going to do that, and I don't know how you're going to do that, and I'm saying, well, of course you don't, because you don't understand that just like with the human body, the organs all work together. And the man was trying to explain. I thought he did a good job, the UIC. He did his best under the conditions to explain his position. And I thought I'm not into politics that much, but I thought he made a really good case for his party. The question is, does he know his people? Does he know the people that he's trying to reach? Because the person he was talking to is not an illiterate. Though he doesn't understand politics clearly, he's not an illiterate. So he did represent Jamaica really on the regular state. He did reckon that, because most people do not understand politics. And what's sad about that is people think you have to go to a political college, or you have to be studying politics to understand politics. Politics is just how things work. And if you're not interested in how things work on a day-to-day and learning them, and you're 40, 30, 50 years old, then really you have no right to be questioning or arguing with your politicians. You should know how things work, because you've been on the planet long enough. But most of us don't take much interest in politics. We just see somebody, we hear something they're saying, we say, we don't like that, he's no good, doesn't make any sense. There's nobody that's ever going to be your political representative that you're going to like everything they do. It's impossible. And I tell you this, if you got to power, you, the person watching this right now, came into power as a political leader in any country, and then look back 4 or 5 years later at your process, the process you went through, you would then say, boy, I wish I hadn't done that, and I wish I hadn't done this, and maybe I should have done this. That's the nature of human beings. We correct as we go along. So just the fact that somebody is not saying what you like right now, or didn't do exactly what you like, that's no reason to hate them. That's tribalism. That's where you get the tribalism concept coming in. You have to actually listen to everything the person says and weigh up the good with the bad and say, okay, I can work with this for now, and then we move on. Politics is a tricky subject if you don't take much interest in it. And if you do take interest in it, you'll be able to understand when somebody's speaking to you on a political level and whether this person is sound in what they're saying. Now, here comes the problem with, like the leader I was saying, just like religious leaders. It's very well to have a manifesto or a religious 10 commandments or all these Leviticus rules and stuff. Can the people that you're actually telling to do these things, can they carry it out? Do they have the discipline to carry it out? If they can't, then it doesn't matter how good your policies are, it's not going to work. But you need to have, because people like to refer, as a UIC leader did, to Singapore. The Singaporeans are very different in character to many people that come from the countries I've mentioned previously. So they were able to carry out certain changes after their colonial rule by the British. They were able to carry out those changes. In many of the countries we're talking about now, the people are so different. They operate different, they think different. Their spiritual concepts of life are different. So it's not so easy to say, oh, let's just put some paperwork out there and everybody will follow it. Some people don't like order. Some people don't like laws. They don't understand why there should be a law for this or a law for that. So you find that the law enforcers in these countries are not respected, and the law enforcers themselves often don't understand why there should be laws, and they seem to go to power just to collect money on behalf of their pocket and their young girlfriend that they're trying to support. But anyway, that's a little bit about politics today. So take care, look after yourself, and we're going to talk again about politics, because politics is forever and a day. It's going to go on forever.